Play day to forget in many instances because they did not look great at all. How many players they come in, and that's always kind of been the issue. Well, for them, not giving Heretics any form of momentum, they're stalling the round out.
I think that's it, right? As soon as they lost, well, they lost the opener, but then they're able to get one back. But there's Deadshot, trading back and forth. They just have to send it. They just have to see if they can try and get themselves dug in. There's Riaz, gets himself a kill in the first round. Maybe a sign of better things, but Deadshot is the sign of the times, and the times are sort of saying there's only 20 seconds left. You need to try and put the pressure on towards the site itself. Destruction on towards the keeper barricade. Snake's just going to see if he can get the ping. Yep, you are being watched from the opposition either side, and swings out, gets one. A 2 versus 2, going to see if they can tuck the plant. Crocs and Wizard, all that's left. They've got to try and swing for the engagement themselves, and over the top, round the side. Where's the rotate? There's the drop. There's the second. Akwi gets himself locked in. How have they done it, Demo? Opening their angles. They're just getting themselves in close and tucked and enough to maybe try and swing around the corner, but Deadshot takes their head off of Riaz, and I mean, what a way for them to buy themselves a little bit of safety, Demo.
Yeah, but still these roamers upstairs. That's going to be the tricky thing that Heretics need to try and go up against. Again, you can try and use these impacts, and I mean, this is what it's all about, isn't it? You can use that verticality, just put pressure on them. They are in. Are they in a position to go for the plant? That's the issue, because they know these vertical angles are above, and here we go. Finally, the Monty's going to be able to try and go for a plant.
4 versus 5, 4 versus 4, actually, as it comes together. Deadshot does get caught out a little bit earlier on, and now they get themselves to pull back. There's the gadgetry to lock it in. You've got the verticality, but you've got to fight them flat now. You've got to try and find a way to fight back in. You've only got 30 seconds, and you know you're up against the Monty regardless of the health, and what do you really have to deal with him? Well, nothing. You've used all your smoke canisters, used your impacts, and you've been a bit impactless. Croxton gets one. Suddenly, actually, all floods away from them, and... well, I believe there's at least a C4 underneath on Dora's position. So if they go towards the default plant here, there should be a bit of that pressure. There's the first. Akwi gets one. Deadshot gets Riaz right back on towards the bathroom window. There's still this rotate, and there's that position I talked about. The destruction on towards Dora, but he's got to cross a bit of a divide here, and he's the one with the kit, and he's a little bit alone with only 20 seconds left. Lolo puts the pressure on, but Akwi goes down at the same second. It's a 3 versus 3 technically, but that gets leveled out by Deadshot, who keeps doubling down on this site in position, goes for the pickup before he goes for the plant because he's all that's left, but he's not left alone.
They never really got to grips with starting to pressure, you know, the site utility. I just think they needed to... Heretics, gonna go for the full roam clear upstairs. Up all the info with the Deimos and the Soul of Snake. Get a lot of value from it, and it's to be scrappy, but Wizard has went unchecked towards Rocket Stairs and picked up a flank.
Well, there's the grenade trying to force it back. Zara's able to get one more, but Wizard, you can see they've got the stretch of Skybridge, trying to cause problems and trying to make sure that they're within touching distance of causing problems. But that is one more body off the board. The Deimos just got the read on where the Mozzie is, into the Mozzie. Just got read their last rights. Leaving Deepek all alone. There's the engagement. They're going for the plant, but...
they're just basing their position. It's not the same kind of instantaneous approach in towards Garage as last time. I think they are going to go for the roam hunt, and wow, Zarami.
Back end, Crocs has sort of found himself slipped into a trap that he was not expecting, and a very easy, well-coordinated pickup. But they also didn't overextend, right? They made sure the Monty was drawing attention. Wizard does find Zara in the meantime. There goes your Snake. There goes all that intel.
Since then rotated off, but and for Heretics, they have to make a decision. They're aware about Wizards. Holding an angle for him. And what? Dora loses it against Deepek? What's happened?
The faith in the shotgun. The English shotgun is what sort of drives you to a success point. Deepek is full of faith. He's a believer. And now they got to believe that they can try and get this one locked in. Still holding on towards his post. The kid is there. They know he's got to make the transition. And, well, Deepek goes 3 for 3. Locks himself in. Can he get himself a fourth? He can just leave at this point. Demo, 6 seconds. Can't get the kit and back to site. Deepek does not have to contest this. So won't. Rainbow Six and DMRs.
Honestly, they I think they need a painkiller. Deadshot is like a bad headache at the moment. Finally, they get rid of him, but yeah, I mean, he's done his job. Look at the time he's wasted.
Yep.
And certainly with 40 seconds to go, staring down a clash. This is so tragic for Heretics. There's just not a lot they can do against that operator. Deepek Finds an easy one, them to Lolo. And yeah, just look at this clash. I mean, Dora is in the thick of it. Tries to go for the legs, but nah, just absolutely shredded down. And Akwi, a 1v4. It's not going to work for him. In Fnatic, they hid the clash really well, and it's worked for them.
Yeah, I think that was the thing, right? And here we go. Back in towards the second half.
You did it better than they did.
Yay! No, yeah, Operation Stairs. We never really saw this driven, right? The main stairs was never a big point of contention from Heretics pushing their way up. And Wizard gets caught out. The follow-through comes from the side of Deadshot. They're able to level things up a minute on. Trying to tuck either side of Art Window, but this is that impassable divide that has slowly been snuck round, but they're about to find a clash. It gets forced slowly further and further back, pre-firing on towards a shield, but all you've done is moved them with a sort of keener eye away. The follow-through on... He was far too distracted by whatever else was going on, and now with the clash, they've got to try and build in, but they lose the fight on the back end. They lose a gun that they can try and have actively. 2 versus 4. Everything is open. There's a player underneath on the verticality as well. Probably as good as locked in here, Demo.
Well, guess one, but he said it should be locked in just based on the positionings of the remaining 3 players. They have got the shield, but that's not going to help you if there's a player below. And yeah, for Heretics, using this utility early just to try and keep alive, but Lolo has to try and go through the flames, and gets picked apart by Deadshot. Had him on the track, an easy takedown. Down goes the smoke. Fnatic. I mean, it's kind of a similar lineup, isn't it, that they're going up against? A lot of plant denial coming in from Heretics, and again, it's that pace that they're moving through. And Riaz, expose themselves to the verts, and that's an easy.
Now this is being pulled away from them. Fnatic, time to get themselves rotated round. Time to put the pressure on towards Lockers in the back of sight. There goes Akwi, caught out by Halver. And here, the 5 versus 2 is both top middle of your screen, and what's left at the bottom of the board, but the first filters away. The second is pressure on.
Oh dear.
Swung either side of a still half-standing clash shield. It's Fnatic.
Back in. Don't forget ADSs, they regenerate.
Ooh, they've been able to slip their way in, but the Blackbeard is holding on. All the pressure, and Deadshot has the cover. And there goes the Tachanka. They still have the smoke canisters to try and deny the plant if it's the same method. And instead, they're going for the retake. Riaz able to get one. Pressure on the Blackbeard doing their best, but Akwi, massive kill there on towards Wizard. A shotgun is holding out hope. Croxon isn't going to see what follows the rest of that instead. Just these sort of pre-swings and pre-fires putting damage on either way. A bit of a misjudged sprint in there. 20 seconds. They've got nobody they can immediately catch. It's great dip and dive there from Akwi. There's finally a shotgun to put an end to it. Can't quite get the catch on towards the last player.
But it was all about that fight back. You know, Heretics not sitting back.
Ferocious firefight here, over on towards the top. They're trying to surround them at the same second, but instead, a missed gift. And now look at the movement that's coming around. Dora has to do something, but Croxon does it much better. There's the motion from Dora, a little bit too late, but at the same time, all that's left now in a 1 versus 2. The only hope of keeping Heretics fighting. They've ticking. Neither of them have taken the drop. Poor timing on smashing that mirror window. Missed the man go round. Might be able to get the comms and the clarity. Can't quite get the first spray. He's going to have to go directly underneath, and no!